watched The Empire Strikes Back, which, you know, in the scroll, episode 5.
Yeah, they actually, I did read he changed Star Wars in, I think, 1980 and renamed it New Hope then.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because he knew, because when did Empire come out?
I want to say 80 or 81. I'm pretty sure it's 80.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi is 83.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you're right. So
But-
now we got Empire.
Right.
And Lucas is not working on this film at all.
Yeah, I guess he is.
He didn't write it or direct it.
He wrote the story. He didn't write, you know, the script. But, you know, and he didn't direct, which is a big deal.
Which is, yeah, another big deal because... Hold on, let me figure out what I want to say.
I was going to say, it's going to be heavy.
So yeah, he didn't direct Empire. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe a more accomplished director directed this. But when I Googled the guy, he didn't really do anything else either. He later did RoboCop 2.
Right.
So yeah, but it is a tighter looking film. I think probably because it had, you know, finances this time.
Right, right.
I mean, it does look nicer than Star Wars.
Sure.
But yeah, let's tell the story of this
All right, well,
lovely picture.
This movie, you know, is often said the best out of all of them.
That's what they say, and
Yeah.
I believed it for years. 'Cause I was in the church of Kevin Smith, and what he said was, yeah, Empire, yeah, that's the one.
Well, I'm glad you stopped going to that church.
I stopped a while back. I stop in every once in a while
Sure.
to see how he's doing.
Right.
But
You might catch a Wednesday service.
Yeah, but he's
You're not
still,
going Sunday morning.
He's just preaching about the same things he was preaching about 20 years ago sometimes.
Yeah, I have never felt like this was better than Star Wars. I know I'm supposed to. But as I said, there's not many, you know, things that are held as, you know, assumed truth that I don't reject.
Like I'm smart.
I don't know anybody who assumes that.
My daughter does. So when it comes to math, she knows I'm an idiot there.
But it is a very good film.
Yeah, no, it's...
But
can I give my rundown of the film?
well, and can I stop you when?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, here's the rundown of the film. It's real simple, okay? All right, things happen at the beginning on Hoth, which is pretty cool stuff.
Well, I want to say is that, like, there's this whole beginning part where Luke gets hit over by, you know, a Yeti or whatever.
Bottom snowman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not, you know, I don't know the names of all these things. If it's not in the movie, you know, I rarely care.
Sure.
You know, I know a lot of people love it, Star Wars for the world. You know,
And I mean, there's
it's great.
hundreds of books and games and...
And I have, you know, partaken of some of them. But to me, you know, I'm a film guy first.
Sure.
But also, you know, I just love the films. I don't necessarily care. But anyway,
well, they're on Hoth, which is a snowy world.
Right.
Which I love snow.
Yeah.
So like when I see that, yeah, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And Luke goes out on like this
Kangaroo.
like weird thing. I forget what he's going out to do. But the Rebel Alliance is there, right? And Han is still there.
Right.
But he's like, I'm leaving.
Right, yeah.
I don't need this coldness.
Well, I just want to say is that, like, you know, there's this big long thing where, you know, Luke gets hit over the head, and then he's taken to the cave, and, you know, Luke has to try to get back to the base. He frees himself, and, you know, he kills the
Yeah.
I think it's called a Wampa.
I think you might be right.
But, anyway, he's crawling through the snow, you know, he's about to die. I just think it's interesting is that, you know, they set this up where, you know, our hero's going to die because of nature. You know, and that sort of sets the stage for this film being, you know, a dark film where nature itself is against our heroes. You know, they could die at the hands of Vader,
Sure.
or they could just die because it's cold outside. You know, nothing.
Well, baby, it's cold outside. Maybe you should go outside.
No, you know, nothing's going right.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's really setting up is, you know, just how, you know, cold the story itself is going to be.
And I mean, and this Hoth place is so cold that, you know, no one's gonna go save Luke. They're like,
Yeah,
there's nothing we can do. Our kangaroos will die. or whatever they're called.
Right.
And Han's like, BS! That's my boy! And he goes and he saves him.
Yeah.
He uses a lightsaber, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Han, has sort of grown between the films.
There's something going on with him and Leia. At first, you don't know what it is. He wants to leave, and...
Well, I guess we sort of ignored this in the first one, but, there's sort of becomes like a love triangle that really, manifests in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, he thinks, I'm the hero. I'm supposed to get the princess.
But Han's like, I'm the bad A.
Yeah, he's also, Luke is still a boy, really. Han is, a man.
Yeah. That's right, Leia. So,
they eventually get Luke back, and he's resting in the bed, and a lot of bickering going on.
And then Leia kisses him, and Luke does this. I swear to you.
Everybody knows. I mean, you're not blowing any wigs off.
It blew my wig off because I was like, "Are we really doing this in a movie right now?"
I love that scene.
It's kind of interesting, but it definitely is what a boy would do. It's like, I just got kissed.
Well, he's also rubbing it in Han's face.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, it gets even weirder. Spoiler alert.
So,
the Empire eventually finds,
and they send these things. What are they called?
The walkers.
Is that what they're just called? Walkers?
Well, AT-ATs.
AT-ATs. Yeah. And
there's the Imperial walkers, which are the 2 legs, and then the 4 legs I think are AT-ATs.
And Luke figures out how to do them by making them trip.
It's interesting that we're getting this battle right up front. This is the kind of thing that almost feels like the equivalent of the Death Star fight, where it's a big rebel fight against Imperials.
Yeah, but there was action in the... I guess there wasn't really action in the beginning of the first. Well, Darth Vader comes on board and kills everybody.
But this is, a big spaceship thing. And it's on land, and it's snow.
And so while this is happening, someone... I guess it's Obi-Wan says, go to the Dagobonds.
No, that happened earlier when Luke was...
dying?
Yeah, and he was hallucinating or, seeing Obi-Wan. Yeah, he tells him to go see Yoda.
He doesn't say Yoda, he just says, go to the Dagobonds.
No, there you'll find Yoda, the Jedi Master trained me.
I didn't watch
it. He did, he's joking around.
So anyway, this battle happens, the good guys win.
And then, they have to evacuate. Han sort of gets caught up in all this, because his original plan was just to hightail it out of the Alliance altogether.
Well, but he's in love with Leia, and he wants her to say it back. And also, he's the greatest character so far, so he has to, he can't just leave. I hope the mic's picking up your
yeah,
Tina Belcher. But so anyway, they separate, and Luke goes off with R2-D2,
right?
And Han and Leia and Chewbacca, they get saddled with C-3PO, which
this is interesting. Is that I love C-3PO.
Oh.
But I love him most when he's teamed up with R2-D2. Because they're a comedy team. Once the team is broken up, there's not much comedy. It's more just him being annoying.
It's a robot, okay? They literally do this to him a couple times in the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a robot. Does that matter?
I think he's got the speaker there.
But they turn him off at one point in Empire because he's complaining too much. They're just like, hey, get Grandpa, just give him his pills. Get him to sleep. We got things to do here.
Yeah.
So they get saddled with him. He's complaining the whole time.
It did make me think, if Jar Jar Binks had been teamed up with like a short fat guy as like his foil, maybe he would have been better accepted as like a comedy team rather than a one guy.
Maybe. But here's what this whole movie is, okay? Nothing happens. Nothing happens for an hour and a half, okay? You get this cool fight at the beginning, and then they're on the Millennium Falcon trying to fix it the entire time. That's why he sticks around.
Right.
Because Chewbacca's like, Chewbacca, you fixed it. Chewbacca's got goggles on while he's soldering something. And he's like, and Han's like, argh! So then Luke goes off to this swamp. And
all right, slow down.
Well, I gotta get it out just for a minute. He goes to this swamp and he trains with this guy. There's no montage. There's no Survivor playing. There's no Eye of the Tiger. And what's Han and them doing? They're just sitting on the Millennium Falcon trying to fix it for an hour.
The hyperdrive's busted. And that's sort of the crux of the whole film, is that,
They can't get out. Yeah, I got it, but
I mean, like...
nothing happens.
Stop. All right, stop saying that.
What's the truth?
All right, well, let me tell you the things that happened.
I still like the movie.
Yeah. Han, I mean, the ship, is busted.
Yeah,
And
the hyperdrive doesn't work.
yeah, so they can't go to light speed, and, the Empire's chasing them.
Right on their tail.
Yeah, they go through an asteroid field. And
Because who would be crazy enough to follow?
yeah, well, Vader. That's the thing, is that in the opening crawl, it does tell us that Vader, knows there's a Luke Skywalker, and he's hunting him down. Like, and Vader has been sort of promoted at this point, or at least he's the guy in charge.
Yeah. He looks at that cool thing that pops open.
Yeah, and we get a very small glimpse of his back of his head, and it's all scarred. And he's on a mission here. He needs to find Skywalker. We don't know why yet, and he's not having any of it. Like, anytime, like, they have this whole comedy bit where he keeps killing the admirals, and the next guy gets promoted,
and he gulps,
and then he ends up killing that guy later.
That's why he gulped.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in an asteroid field. Vader's chasing them.
They go down into a hole.
Yeah.
And
the hideout.
Yeah, they're waiting there for a while, and it ends up that.
And these like big bat dinosaur Tyrannosaurus Rex things attack, and C-3PO's like, oh my.
Yeah.
Dumb guy. So then.
It ends up that
they're inside a creature.
Yeah, a giant worm.
Yeah, man.
Or this one. I would argue that a lot of Star Wars, and, well, probably most of art altogether, is really about sex. And,
okay.
Would you disagree?
I've never thought about it, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, Han...
I'm rethinking every movie I've seen for the rest of the night.
Han really wants Leia. They end up in a giant worm who, looks pretty suggestive in my opinion. It's all metaphors.
Yeah, I agree, I guess. It does look suggestive.
Luke ends up in this swamp.
The Dagobah system.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if they give us the name.
They do.
The planet itself is called Dagobah? I mean, they say the Dagobah system.
I don't know. It was just like this swampy area. He kind of crashes into it.
Yeah, and he runs into this goofy guy.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
He's just this old guy that's...
It's funny how goofy Yoda is in the beginning when we don't know who he is.
He's just going through Luke's stuff.
And it's supposed to be, oh, you thought, you were expecting like a big muscle warrior guy, but, you can't trust, your eyes. You can't, don't judge a book by its cover.
That's right, ladies.
So, he finds Yoda, great Jedi Master, and starts training with him. I'm just going to talk all about Yoda here.
All right, go ahead.
Because part of me wants to, like, cross-cut, but, we'll be here forever. So, he's learning how to use the Force.
Yoda's saying things like, do or do not. There is no try. Just like, oh, jeez, Pete, dude.
That's a weird impression.
I wasn't trying.
Okay. But, well, he says a couple things that I think are very important. One is the big test, where he puts him he goes into a cave and to confront something, and
it's Vader.
Darth Vader comes out.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, what's going on?
It's slow motion.
Yeah, it's all like a weird dream.
Yeah.
And Luke cuts off his head and reveals Luke is behind the mask.
Yeah. Luke is Vader.
Yeah. And I think it's like Luke's fear, or
it's a premonition of what could happen, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Him falling to the dark side. But the other thing is when, Yoda says, luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. We are not, our physical selves. We're a spirit. And also this
Wise he was.
this is very much the most Eastern part, I think. Like there's some like Christ metaphors in other of the movies, but this one feels like the most Buddhist. You know, Yoda feels very much like, you know, a yogi.
What's a yogi? Is that a Buddhist thing?
Yeah, it's like a teacher.
Oh.
You know, a religious teacher. But anyway, back with Han and Leia. Vader, you know, is doing whatever to get the job done. He hires a bunch of bounty hunters.
Oh yeah, he does to get. Is it just Han, or is he going after all of them?
He's going after all of them. And eventually we get what his plan is.
But yeah, he hires his bounty hunters, and somebody on the ship's like, "We don't need that scum."
Yeah, well, yeah, the Imperials don't like Vader. You know, Vader, you know, is just using them to do what he wants to do.
He's a boss. Yeah, we'll get drinks later, Vader. Don't worry. Yeah.
We get a lot of cool looking bounty hunters, but Boba Fett's the only one who, you know, is going along for the ride of the movie.
Yeah.
So Han, you know, they go to meet his old friend Lando.
Which, that's when the movie starts for me, man.
Oh yeah.
Cloud City looks pretty awesome. Lando Calrissian, one of the coolest characters of all time in this little saga we're talking about. No, not film history, Star Wars history.
I'm happy to hear you say it.
Oh man, Lando's awesome.
Okay, cool.
And like Han's
I like him. I mean,
Han's like, he's not, because Chewie's like, and, you know, like there's some bad blood between these two, and then
Chewie's not gonna remember that.
Yeah, that's what Han says. And then, you know, they land, and Lando's like, "You son of a bee!" That's what he says. But
no good.
Can't believe you. He's like, why'd you come here?
Yeah, yeah.
But then he's just joking. He's just joshing with him, and they hug and make up, and
yeah, much like
C-3PO complains.
So, Bespin, I think is the name of the planet. Cloud City's the name of the place.
Oh,
Is that right? Maybe. I'll put an annotation here. But you know, this is like a gas giant. You know, it's like Jupiter. You know, there's no land. You know,
yeah, which is why it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very.
They say that they're gas farming or gas mining. Which
that's right.
It's like moisture farming.
And Lando's like some big. He's BP.
Yeah. Well, no, not really, because he says it's small operation, which is why the Empire ignores him.
Shell. But also we get a little backstory too that, you know, Lando, he must have owned the Millennium Falcon at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Han won it.
Yeah, in a bet. Which this is, you know, Han still owes money to Jabba here, people. Don't forget that. We don't know who this Jabba guy is, but
well, Han had the money. Why didn't he just pay it?
He had to save Luke. Twice. That's 2 you owe me, kid. So they go in, and lo and behold.
Well, hold on. I know before you get to that twist. C-3PO goes wandering into a room.
Oh yeah, he gets blown away. It's the greatest part of the movie.
I thought you would like that.
He said, "Oh no, what's going on?" And Chewbacca like looks for him, but he doesn't care.
I think Chewbacca cares. I think Chewbacca likes C-3PO because I think he can relate. Because the droids
he gets their respect.
Yeah, the droids are always, you know, not getting the respect they deserve, and I think Chewbacca's the same way.
Well, yeah, so C-3PO gets blown up. We see it. We don't see it, though. It's off screen.
Right.
And then, lo and behold, who's there? Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Lando screwed over his buddy.
They got there first. He had no choice.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
And it's true, but, you know. So they all sit down with Vader like this dinner table. Do we see him sit down?
Well, I
know Vader's at the head of the table like, "Have a seat."
Yeah, I know.
And I think they do. And
most awkward Thanksgiving ever.
It's like, yeah, you show up, and it's like, I didn't know he was going to be here. So,
well, Luke is getting, like, you know, premonitions that something bad's happening. He's got to go help his friends.
And Yoda's like, "Don't do that, dude. You're not done training."
Yeah.
But Luke doesn't listen.
Yeah.
So he goes.
Oh, and Obi-Wan's ghost shows up, too, and it's like, stop.
Don't go.
Yeah.
And he still goes.
Yeah. And we get the big old thing with Yoda saying, Obi-Wan saying, he was our last hope. Yoda says, no, there's another.
Which I believe they knew. You and I argued about this. We'll argue about it when we're done here, but...
When we get to Jedi?
No, when we finish this film.
Oh, okay.
So, then what happens?
Han gets frozen.
And Carbonite or something.
Which, Darth Vader intends to use this on Luke.
But he's practicing on Han, and he doesn't care if he dies or not.
Right.
And Han has the cool, where Leia says, I love you, and Han says, I know. That's the last time we see the cool Han Solo.
Now he's just cold.
You're an idiot. So Luke gets there. He has a battle with Darth, and while this is happening, everyone else is getting away, right?
Right. This is the coolest lightsaber battle in the whole series.
Lando's like, no, I'm cool, man. Come with me.
Oh, right.
And they're like,
yeah,
why should we trust him?
Right.
That's a terrible C3. It's somebody else I'm doing. I don't know who it is. But and then we get this awesome battle between Darth Vader and Luke.
Yeah. And
Vader cuts off his hand. There's a lot of hands and arms getting cut off in these movies, man. Everybody's losing arms.
I think I was trying to make this point with the last movie, but I'll make it here. Is these lightsaber fights, whether it be Luke against Vader or in the last one, Obi-Wan against Vader, we have the Rebels fighting the Empire. That's all surface.
Mm-hmm.
The real battle is the dark side and the light side. It's a spiritual battle. And it's...
I'm the light side, you're the dark side today. Hey, man, I didn't even notice that.
Well, from a certain point of view. But that's what, this is. Vader and Luke are the only ones, aside Yoda and the Emperor, I guess,
that have the Force.
And also understand what the battle really is. That, whatever is, ruling here is, it doesn't really matter if it's a republic or it's an empire. If the dark side is, the most powerful part, then that's what's going to rule.
Sure.
Yeah, and Vader, like you said, cuts off Luke's hand, which, again, going back to sex imagery, this is a castration metaphor. I'm not joking around.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of castration then in these films.
It goes back to, that old psychological thing where you're afraid your father's going to cut off your dick. And then,
first off, I never had that fear.
Well, it's like Freudian. You're afraid, of your father taking away your manhood. And again...
I mean, I didn't like when he yelled at me to take out the trash when I was playing video games, but I guess, yeah.
Well, it's all, symbolic and psychological. And it's revealed Darth Vader
is his father.
Yeah. Biggest...
And he's like, no.
I recently just read that that was not said on set.
Yeah, I'd known that.
Yeah, like what they said was Obi-Wan killed your father.
Yeah.
And
so like when Carrie Fisher and them saw the film, they were like, what?
But they did tell Mark Hamill.
Yeah. But so then and.
Oh, so what happens here? What you tell me what you think?
What do you mean?
All right. Well, he says this also reveals.
Oh.
Vader also reveals his plan here and like what his actual motivation is. He wants to overthrow the Emperor.
Yeah.
So he wants Luke to join him
because of father-son duo.
He also thinks that I understand how this place should be ruled. I'm the one who should be in charge. This is why nobody.
He's running for that Skywalker ticket of 2016 or whatever year we're in.
This is why nobody else likes him. Why he doesn't like anybody else.
Well, Luke hears this and he says, "Nah," and he just kills himself. He just jumps off the building.
So that's you think that was like him committing suicide?
I think that, or he knew, he was gonna be stopped. Like maybe his force was tingling, and he was like, "Yeah, I can go down this chute." He goes down like this longest slide in the world. Well, it's Cloud City, so
yeah. And
he's like just sitting there, and then he uses the force, and he's like, Leia, and she's in the Millennium Falcon escaping, and she's like, "We gotta go back." And I think, is she driving the Millennium Falcon?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so they go back.
I mean, Chewie's at the other controls.
And Luke falls in.
Oh, I do need to mention something because it's key to the whole movie. Much like the last movie, the droids are actually secretly the most important part of the whole movie.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Because R2-D2, who's been chilling with Luke the whole time, when they get to Cloud City, R2-D2 talks with the Cloud City computer, which it's really weird, which sort of implies that Cloud City is alive.
Well, he talks to all the computers.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about this before, where C-3PO can talk to moisture evaporators or whatever, like they're talking to appliances.
Sure.
So I guess they have like AI or artificial intelligence. And I think this goes back to what Yoda was saying. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. I think the best movie about AI was Her.
Oh.
Movie, what was it, last year?
I think it was 2 years ago, Spike Jonze.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Spike Jonze film. I feel like that film really captured what AI is and what it may be. Because what is AI if not artificial spirit? I think, like C-3PO. You could take his memory, maybe like upload it into a computer, theoretically.
Sure.
So his body doesn't matter at all. And, his body gets torn apart, put back together.
Yeah, this one he's like on Chewbacca's back. His legs are sitting here and there.
Doesn't seem to matter, and, that's what our bodies are. They're physical.
Yeah, but I can't be on Chewbacca's back with my legs hanging off.
True.
You put my head on backwards.
I think AI is almost like a man-made spirituality. And I think it's almost like a metaphor for, how we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I didn't think that much about it at all.
Okay. Well, it's because R2-D2 communicated with this computer. He figures out how to fix the hyperdrive. He's the one who fixes it, finally.
Oh, yeah, I guess he does, doesn't he?
He
also helps them escape.
I don't remember him getting thanked.
Deleted scene, my friend.
But, all these people, can't figure out anything. But R2-D2 just, like, sticks the thing in and quick turn.
Doesn't he go,
because he puts it in the wrong socket.
That was cool.
So, we see our heroes now, at their most fallen.
Yeah, Han's frozen.
Yeah, he's been taken to Jabba. Luke's had his hand cut off, as well, as his manhood taken away.
C-3PO was in pieces, now he's back together, though. Because it ends with Leia, Luke, C-3PO, and R2-D2, like in a hospital bed. Luke's getting, like, this new hand.
Yeah.
And then Lando and Chewie
are setting out to go find him.
Find who? Darth Vader?
No, Han.
Han, yeah.
Han.
And
that's the end.
That's the end. Now, you and I, when we were watching the first one, said something about you didn't think Leia, they knew that Leia was the sister in Empire.
Right.
Like, you didn't believe that. You believe they said what Yoda said, there's another one.
Yeah, they did that just in case Mark Hamill couldn't come back.
Which I disagree with.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's like, But I think when he's using and he says, Leia, and she hears it, that's them using the Force.
But couldn't a Force user talk to anybody?
Force user? I don't know. But why would he ask for Leia? Wouldn't he ask for Han? He doesn't know Han's frozen. I'm just saying. Han saved his life twice. Well, maybe he's tired of asking Han, so he's like, Leia.
Yeah, well,
I felt like
at this point, maybe he's still in love with Leia.
No, I took it as it's a Force thing. It's a like she has a little bit of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's
just my opinion.
Sure. No right or wrong.
But I think this one will be I don't know. I'd give it maybe a 4.
Yeah.
0.5 out of 5 maybe.
Yeah. I'm not giving any grades today.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, and when you say 4.5, you're doing stars.
Sure. It's a galaxy.
I mean, in all our Super Bros, we do it out of 10.
Oh. Super Bros at the movies is a little different.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's out of 5. I say 5 out of 5. Or 4.5 out of 5.
Sure. So yeah, well, I mean, what's your problem? Like that stretch in the beginning?
My problem is that really nothing happens.
Mm.
It's kind of a nothing movie until the last 20 minutes. And I know people are gonna be mad that I say that. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy to hear it, just because Empire
Gets a lot of love.
Yeah, and I think it's overrated.
I mean, just the
honest.
fact that they're sitting there on the Millennium Falcon trying to fix it. I feel like I'm watching a space version of American Chopper. Like, and C-3PO is just complaining.
It's the most un-Star Wars-y Star Wars. Like the humor is
That should
dialed.
be on the box of the VHS.
The humor is dialed way back. There's not as many like monsters, what have you.
Which I'm fine with. If
Yeah.
there's other stuff really happening, and like
And people always praise, the dialogue in this one, and so forth. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't see where A New Hope was so bad that this is like an improvement. Also, there's a part where Luke is in the hospital part in the very beginning, after he's gotten back from the snow, and there's like Luke and Leia and Han are bickering back and forth, and they say like laser brain
and nerve herder.
And fuzzball. What he calls Chewbacca fuzzball. That's not like witty repartee.
So they got Pulitzer Prize-winning writer in here.
But yeah, I think it's a pretty good. It's a good continuation, and
that's the one thing. Yeah, it does feel like there's a story, but it just isn't getting off the ground in this one.
It really feels like what they do today, where they take like a book and split it in two.
Yeah.
Like this feels like the first part to a two-parter.
And it's like, that's cool, but
I mean, I do like the big twist.
I feel like if I saw it in theaters, I probably would have loved it in 1980.
Yeah.
Because I probably would have been, yearning for it.
Right.
And it would have delivered, I think.
Sure. I mean, it does.
Yeah. But it's just I feel like not much happens, and that's fine in some films, but it was not in this one for some reason.
Right.
But it's still a good. It's still a great film. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not saying it's got the look.